let's get into the final results of 247, Jones and Reyes. So I had it Reyes 3 rounds to 2. I think Reyes won the first 3 rounds. Jones won the last 2. It was a close fight. But at the end of the day, these states, they really need to get a MMA judging committee together. These state athletic commissions need to take this seriously and get an MMA judging committee together. I know for a fact from watching the fights last night and listening to Joe and Dominic Cruz and John Anik that these are boxing judges. And I think a lot of them, they get the sheet beforehand, and one of the things in the sheet that I think is messing them up is octagon control. So if you're a boxing judge and you got a judge on octagon control, well, John had octagon control every round of the whole fight. But if you have octagon control and you're the guy pressing forward, but then every time you engage and there's an exchange, and the majority of the time the other guy wins those exchanges, then how valuable is your octagon control? I think that's one thing they got to get worked out. Another thing they have to get worked out, which Joe touched on, is the takedowns. Yeah, John had a few takedowns, but then Reyes got right back up. So I don't know what's more valuable in that. I understand that, hey, if you got the takedown, then you implemented your game plan, and you got in a grappling exchange, and then you took me down. Even though I got right back up, it was still your game plan to take me down and get in those grappling exchanges. So I think they do hold some weight. How much weight? And then how much weight does, you took me down, but I got right back up and ended up breaking the exchange and got out of it. How much weight does that have? I think that's some things they got to get some of that stuff worked out. It was a close fight though. Dominic had a lot of significant strikes the first 3 rounds. Then John won the significant strikes in the last 2 rounds. John obviously had some takedowns. Dominic didn't have any takedowns. John had the octagon control. It was a close fight. I did have it 3 rounds to 2, Dominic. And then another question is how important are these championship rounds? And I mean, as far as, should you score them not different, but should there be more significant weight to round 4 and 5? So I don't know the answer to that, and be interested to know what some of you guys think. If those championship rounds should hold a little more weight or not, or do you just championship fight, you just score it the way it is. Dominic Reyes won 3 rounds to 2, and that's it. So it was a close fight. I had Dominic winning that fight, but there were some holes obviously in the judging. The one judge, I don't know what he's judging, and I think it was the same judge earlier in the night that had some crazy scorecards, and I'm not sure who he is or what his background is, but he clearly didn't know what he was judging or looking at there, and that needs to be worked out. These states really need to get a MMA judging committee going, especially the big states, especially as a start, Vegas, New York, California, somebody needs to start an MMA judging committee. These states need to take this seriously. And it's a sport with some dire consequences. And they need to get it right as much as possible. I mean, still have humans judging a fight, but they need to get it right as much as possible. They need to have judges that know what they're looking at, and not just that. You know, once you have a committee to go in, they need to have meetings. And like Dominic Cruz said, you know, they're not even allowed inside the circle, and that's wrong. You need to have a committee, and you need to have meetings with fighters and promoters, and get some rules down, get some understanding down, get an understanding of, all right, if you know what is the takedown worth, you know, what's the octagon control worth, what's the value of some things. And it's not easy, but it's something that does need to be done. I don't feel Dominic Reyes was robbed of that fight. I do feel it was a close fight, but ultimately I did think he won the fight, but it was a close fight. So it's not one of those fights where it was clear, and you know, and when it's done, you're like, what the hell's going on here? So no, it was a close fight. So Jon had his moments. They both had their moments, but something does be nice to get something done with these athletic commissions, these state commissions, and some MMA judging instead of having boxing judges. So, but let me know what you guys think. I think it was a great fight, but let me know. Do you have Reyes winning? Do you feel those championship rounds should matter a little more? Or sometimes I think the opposite. Sometimes I think it's on the champion to really dominate. You know, a lot of people look at it like, well, you have to take the champion. You know, you have to take the belt from the champion. Sometimes I also feel there's an opposite side of that. Sometimes I feel, well, you're the champion. You should also have to prove that, you know, you should have to take the belt basically from me. So, but let me know what you guys think. Those are my thoughts. Great fight, really good card. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon.